I had to review this document, but please do remember that the part which contains natural science is beyond my, in fact, beyond my knowledge base as well as my jurisdiction. But after all, we are looking for some solution for man and nature conflict, man and nature coordination, man, poverty and environmental coordination. So man is there. As an economist, I put man at the center. Because we are concerned, we are debating, we are discussing, because we are man, we are concerned. That is why I put man at the center. And taking man at the center, I am trying to review this document which contains social and economic implications related to vision regarding future of Sundarbans. Well, I originally read the whole document, but I again reread it, this smaller version. After that, I have 2 or 3 observations to make. One is delineating Sundarban into 2 parts. This is a whole is a district, conceived district, delineated by a green zone, green line, and the future objective is to make people gradually move from, with a planned and phased way, from this zone to the other zone, and ultimately restore this zone. For that, I don't know, if scientists should be in a better position to tell whether this zone is already in a state which is irreversible. In nature, we have their examples galore. Irreversibility is a problem. I don't know whether this is reversible, maybe partially restorable, but we may not find the ecological setting, original ecological setting, authentic ecological setting that we are looking for, which is present probably in this zone. But still, restoration will do some good thing for the environment and ultimately to the well-being of mankind. But the stages conceived in this document, phase 1, phase 2, my own logic would be make phase 2 phase 1, phase 1 phase 2, because phase 2 provides infrastructural development in this zone which will attract people living here to move there. Meanwhile, creating capacity of the people in this zone, basically human capital of this zone. So either you think of doing this simultaneously or second phase followed by the first phase. Because unless you develop some infrastructure, you are, say, first phase you are developing capacity, human capital. In a sense, education, health, social networking, social capital, building trust, building reciprocity, so on and so forth. But why would people be interested? What are the incentives to do that? So you show them that incentives are there already, or incentives are coming in this zone where you can have suitable opportunities. So either think of taking phase 1 and phase 2 simultaneously, or just reverse the direction, set up the infrastructure first, develop human capital, and show them that, you see, there are places of opportunities for you. And the other thing is, once you do the infrastructural development, basically the government perceives that this infrastructural development would be made by either external agencies or the government. The other thing is, once there are such endeavors, there is a crowding in effect. That is, it will draw even private investment possibly. So I am not saying that, don't think that private investment won't come here. If certain indicative infrastructural developments are done in this zone, instead of crowding out private sector may probably be crowded in. They will come, they will find their own avenues of earning revenue, but at the same time, which will cater to the well-being of the people too. So that is in a way my suggestion in this regard. The other area is, it has been aptly pointed out here that the process will involve deriving benefits and incurring costs. Who will bear the cost and who will derive the benefits? Usually any change in Sundarban biosphere, the benefit will be local, national, as well as global. It will have a global reach. But the costs normally involved, initial cost will be borne by the locals. So the compensation that they need to be shifted from this zone to that zone should have not only the local dimension, not only the national dimension, but also have global dimension. So I am saying is this, that compensation should flow from global agencies too, because the benefit of Sundarban, benefit of Amazonian rainforest is global benefit. So also the benefit, since this is the global heritage, the benefit would be global benefit. So global benefit, global agencies should also participate to compensate the transitional losers adequately. So it is not only the responsibility of the national government or local government to compensate them, it is also the responsibility of the global community. And for that, I think another kind of dialogue has to be opened to convince the global community that you too are beneficiaries of this development. Number 3, in this document, one thing is probably somewhat missing. That is the role of the community. You see, the government fails, market fails, so also sometimes communities also fail. But As in the document you have aptly pointed out that while forest is protected, river is an open access resource. So if you accede to that river is an open access resource normally end up with what we know as tragedy of commons. So, if this is an integrated system, that is forest, river, creeks, all these belong to the same system, then once the river is gone in the sense, ecological sense, in the environmental sense, if the rivers face the tragedy of commons, can you protect the forest? So, somehow, this open access resource has to be converted probably into local common property resources. There is a line of distinction between open access resource and common property resource. So we have to think about how to convert spatially local open access resource to local common property resources, maybe hierarchically from upstream to downstream, maybe spatially distributed. Time was in Kerala, I know, there is time zoning. Fishermen go for fishing stipulated by different time phases. So some sort of maybe spatial zoning, some sort of maybe temporal zoning would be necessary, but somehow we have to think about community participation in managing local commons, which at this stage of at this juncture is essentially an open access resource. We have to somehow convert open access resources to common property resources. You cannot privatize them, you cannot nationalize them. So the only alternative remains is community-based management. But one community in this vast area is not enough, so we have to make spatial distinctions, spatial differentiation, temporal differentiation, time zoning, so on and so forth. There are several mechanisms. So with these observations, this is my added observation. In fact, originally I made certain observations while I read the original document, but these are my current observations. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to communicate with you, to exchange with you my views. In a way, I am an odd man, dominated by natural scientists, myself and some like Unurag and Prof, some social scientists. So this is the reaction of a social scientist. Given that the scientific evidences provided in this document are correct, it is to see that even natural science is not that exact nowadays. So even if it is not fully correct, it gives us a direction, an indication. Based on that, certain social actions can be taken, and about that I tried to say something. Thank you very much.